What happens when one of America's most notorious drug kingpins becomes an informant? Hey everyone, I'm Leah. Super excited to be here with you.
And I'm Garrett. Glad to have you here with us for another episode. Welcome to Laid Back Learning with Leah and Garrett.
Let's set the scene for this one. Today we're diving into the life of Rayful Edmond III, the infamous Washington, D.C. drug kingpin. So picture this. I'm in Washington, D.C., just casually visiting, right? I come across this documentary about Rayful Edmond III, and honestly, I was hooked. It led to this impromptu tour around the city, checking out spots tied to the whole 1980s drug era narrative. It was eye-opening.
That's pretty cool, right? I mean, it's wild how a single person can leave such a mark on a city. Edmond wasn't just any figure. He was pivotal during the 1980s crack cocaine epidemic, which shaped both the social and criminal landscape of Washington, D.C. All right, let's roll on.
Exactly. Edmond rose to prominence in a way that not many others did. He brought crack cocaine to D.C., which was, devastating. The city saw a spike in crime rates, and people were calling it the murder capital at one point.
That's right, Leah. It's kind of mind-boggling how vast his network was. At its peak, he had about 150 employees and reportedly generated $300 million a year. That's, astronomical. Let's keep it moving.
Totally astronomical. And let's unpack his ties with the Medellin cartel. Now, for those who might not know, the Medellin cartel was a major Colombian drug trafficking organization. They were infamous. Edmond's cooperation with them sort of elevated his stature and resources.
Absolutely. And those connections made things even more intense. They allowed him to operate on such a massive scale that it drew quite the attention from law enforcement, eventually leading to his arrest in 1989 at just 24 years old. Let's switch it up.
Right, and let's get to the heart of it. Post-arrest, he continued his operations even while incarcerated. It's unreal to think about managing a drug empire from behind bars. But his eventual cooperation with federal authorities was what really shook things up.
Yeah, becoming an informant in 1996 was a huge deal. It led to the arrest of multiple alleged drug dealers. Yet the terms of his cooperation are still shrouded in secrecy, raising a bunch of ethical and practical questions. All right, on to the next.
That's so wild. I mean, there's a lot of debate about deals like these. On one hand, it helped dismantle parts of his network. On the other hand, questions about ethics and justice arise because of the undisclosed nature of these agreements.
Exactly, Leah. I guess I can see the pragmatic side, getting bigger players by using informants. But then again, there's the argument about setting a precedent for leniency. It's a tricky balance. Let's keep this going.
Let's shed some light on this pop culture angle. Edmond's legacy hasn't just stayed in criminal history books. He's mentioned in songs by artists like Jay-Z and Rick Ross. Plus, there are documentaries and books about him.
And those cultural references have really contributed to his near-mythical status. It's fascinating how someone like Edmond can become such a pivotal figure in both crime lore and pop culture narratives.
Real talk, Garrett. Understanding these historical impacts is crucial. The crack epidemic was a defining moment for urban communities in America, and studying figures like Edmond provides insight into the socio-economic challenges that cities faced. Time to move forward.
Totally. It's a reminder of the power one person can have on a city and serves as a lesson in history and resilience. Stay informed and curious. That's our motto.
And there we have it, full circle. Keep exploring these fascinating tales with us. Until next time, folks.